Hi cozy friends! If you haven't heard yet, Concerned Ape dropped a new type of farm in the 1.6 update, the Meadowlands Farm. This farm is mainly focused on animals, so they will be your main money-making source for this type of playthrough. There's a bunch of new strategies that people are coming up with for conquering this new type of farm, so I figured I'd throw in my 2 cents and let you guys know how I've been doing it. Let's get to it. The first step is obvious. Use the resources that you get when you first start, in this case, chickens. Chickens produce eggs, which in turn produce mayonnaise. You can now drink mayonnaise in this update, so it will be a solid source of fuel in the early game as you explore the mines. The mayonnaise machine becomes available at farming level 2, so it's important to stock up on eggs and dump them in the machine as quickly as possible for both income and food. This will set you up in the long run, so make sure that you pet your chickens daily. Building a silo is one of the first things in your task list for this playthrough. This should be your most essential task in the first week, as building a silo will allow you to store hay, which is the most important resource to have on hand for all of your animals. So get to mining in the first week so that you can build your silo. Thankfully, it's cheap as it only costs 100 gold, but once you have it built, this playthrough becomes a cakewalk. You get 500 gold when you start this playthrough, and it's best used on farming. Just because the Meadowlands farm is focused on animals does not mean that you should neglect farming. Use 400 gold at Pierre's to buy some potato seeds, and this will set you up for a nice little side stream of income in the early game. Make sure that you save at least 100 gold for building the silo. Your first batch of potato seeds should give you farming level 2, which is what you're going to need to make your first mayonnaise machine and get your chicken empire up and running. One of the most important new mechanics for this type of farm is blue grass. When your animals eat it, it gives them a heart bonus, so make sure that you do not cut it when you are cutting down hay. Be extra careful. You can only get blue grass starters in the winter and if you have Ginger Island unlocked, so instead of cutting it, I recommend building your animal enclosures around it. Cultivate the blue grass and work around it as opposed to cutting it and ruining the buff your animals get if they eat it. This is crucial. Since you get a chicken coop at the start, you may as well expand it as much as possible to max out your early game chicken empire. Once you have the chicken coop maxed out, it's time to invest in your first barn. You should have more than enough money from your mayonnaise hustle by this point in the game, so I recommend getting at least 2 cows to start off with, and if you can afford it, go for 4 cows. Cows will give you milk, which you can use to make cheese, thereby expanding your dairy empire. Now, enjoy the tons of cash that you're gonna make as a true rancher. Well, there you have it guys. If you're going to start up your Meadowlands Farm playthrough, make sure to use these tips and tricks for a smoother and easier experience. If you've been playing the Meadowlands Farm already, let me know what tips you have down in the comments, especially for the late game. See you next time!